Well, good morning, guys. It's been a while. Of course, we had Christmas between it, which is always a bit of a disturbing factor for me when it comes to model building. This is my M113, or a Dutch rendition of it, which is the YPR 765. In my last video I already showed you my progress. It is built, it's completely built. Only addition which still needs to go on is the small photo edge screen over the ventilation gills, and of course all the wheels which still have to go on. But anyway, that's for a later date. I thought about giving it a base coat in black today. I found the time to do some modeling, so I thought this would be best, and then concentrate on the wheels. And as soon as the black paint is dried, I will start commencing with the olive or green color which should go over it. Not always my best paint jobs. By that I mean I see you all do a marvelous job with a black base coat, and after that you can still see all the highlights from the black, or the shadows which the black creates. Strange, I painted black, and then over it I will do a green coat in the appropriate color. But as soon as I start doing the green, whatever I do at first it looks good, and then I still add a little and add a little and add a little until all the black is gone again. So most of the time it means I have to do the black highlighting again, but then over the green coat. I did it a couple of times, and it's, yeah, well, it gives a nice effect, but it's not what I intended to do. So I will give it a go again on this one, and then try to do very thin coats of green over it, so the black will definitely show through. But first I will give it a complete coat in black. For that I found this. I never used it before. It's Wicked Colors by Createx. I'm sure you all guys know this. It is a water-based paint. I normally use Revell aqua colors, which were also a bit of a hassle to get used to, but now I know how to use them. They work very good for me, and they are quite odorless. They are less poisonous than the Humbrol colors I was used to use, which all need some solvent to thin and to clean. So as you all know, we all use our hobby in-house, or at least I have to. I don't have a separate hobby room anymore, so I'm doing it in the house, and it will always have a funny smell when you use the solvent-based paint. I've seen you guys all use this, the new stuff from Ultimate, airbrush thinner and airbrush cleaner. I bought some through eBay, and yeah, I'm quite impressed with it. It works fine. I tried several paints. I did it with Vallejo, I did it with this Createx material, and I did it with the Revell aqua colors, and they all thin very fine with it. So let me mix up a batch, and I'll be back in a jiffy and show you the airbrush stuff. Okay, so I mixed up a batch of the black color, the Createx. The spray gun I'm going to use, which is the one I actually always use for all my work. I also have the bit more expensive version from this brand, which is harder than Steenbeck. This being the Ultra, I have two of those. To be honest, it is a cheap gun. When we're talking about euros, I think you're paying about 70 euros over here in Holland. I found them on eBay for about 50 pounds, 55 pounds, which is really good value for money. I also have the Evolution, but having two of these is a bit easier for me. This one has a 0.2 millimeter nozzle and needle in it, and the one I'm going to use now for the black paint, the black base coat on the YPR is the 0.4. I set my compressor at about 30 psi, which is high for normal use. But the way I learned to work with an airbrush is use a valve over here on the airbrush side, which you can easily adjust to suit your pressure at the moment. It saves me time resetting the compressor every time. So this is connected with a quick release coupling. So I'm gonna switch to the 0.4. As you can see, the black paint is in the airbrush already. Okay, let's see what we can do. I'll start putting on a thin layer and then work my way around to get a bit more coverage. I'm never sure what's easier. I see you guys do a whole black base coat or only do the lines. I've done it both and I'm not really sure which is the best. To be honest, the easiest is to cover the whole area. But I'm not sure if when you put over the green, if it will make a difference in appearance, or if that is the reason why my highlights or my shadows are always disappearing underneath the green. Could have to do with me being just ignorant. I'm not experienced enough to create these effects, so I'm not sure. You tell me. On this one I think I'm gonna cover the whole area, and as you can see it takes the black very well. I degreased the plastic of course before I started building, and I did it with just a bit of soapy water and just let it air dry. So and that's the front done. So I'll carry on and I'll see you guys in a bit. Okay, here's the finished result. Having the turret, the whole YPR, and of course all the wheels completely covered in black. As I said earlier, I'm not sure which is the best way to go. If perhaps Cohen or one of the other real experienced armor builders could shed some light on it, which is the best option, or to cover the whole lot, or only do the areas in which the shadows normally occur. I don't know why I went for the whole black option. I think it must be like a surgeon. Once you get going, it's cutting so nicely, so no, just kidding. No, but it went very nice, so I decided to cover it the whole lot and see where it leads me from there. So I'll reset my airbrush equipment. I'll wait for this to dry. As with the Revell aqua colors, which I mentioned earlier, I'm not sure if you guys know it. What I meant, I'm sure you have seen them. These are these little square bottles. They contain 18 ml, which in all fairness, I'm not sure what it is made of. Must be some well, acrylic water-based paint, so it is quite thick in these bottles, but you can thin it nicely down, and as I said, the ultimate airbrush thinner works very good on it. If you compare it to, for instance, the Vallejo paint, hold on, let me see if I can find one so quickly. I can't. I have to do it from the top of my head, but I thought a Vallejo bottle contains 15 ml. Correct me if I'm wrong. Over here in Holland, first of all, I can't buy it, at least not at the local hobby shops. What they have from Vallejo, those bottles are ancient, because nobody buys them, so they hardly ever sell a bottle, and only the very strange colors remain, and the other ones which you could use are never refilled in their stock. So that's the first thing why I shifted to Revell. Of course, first, as I said, the non-hazardous character, or the less hazardous character, I should say. That's one. Two is availability, and three, the price. A bottle of Vallejo over here in Holland, I think is somewhere €2.50 to €2.75, which contains 15 ml. I can buy these for €2, and they contain 18 ml. So they contain, the ranges, I think 90 different colors. And all 90 colors are quite good for us modelers, because they contain a lot of greens, a lot of I think the majority is matte. Then there are some satin finish, and there are some gloss colors. Only thing I'm not so fond of, or I'm not good at using them, or whatever, could be me again, are their clear paints, or I'm sorry, I should say the clear finishes, the matte coat and their gloss coat. The gloss coat is usable, the matte coat I think is not so, because it tends to turn a bit of white, bit of foggy color as soon as it's brought on. So you should always work in very thin, fine layers, and before you know it, it's too much, and it makes a mist again. So I'm gonna sort this out, and I'll be back with you on the green color. So after another treatment with the famous color olive drab, or the equivalent which Revell delivers, this is what she looks like. As I said earlier, I'm not always all too sure what the best method is for getting the shadows which the black paint underneath the green creates, which is the best way to apply it, doing the whole thing or only the lines which you want to show up. As you've seen in the previous video, or in this video, but something before this. I painted the whole thing black, and from there I started doing the olive drab over it. Some parts came out really nice. As you can see, the lines on the side of the vehicle, underneath with the suspension, looks quite convincing. I'll turn it around, show the other side. From my angle, I hope the camera picks it up as well. Looks quite good. I'm pleased with it, very pleased with it. It has that bit of a patchy look, bit of dark areas, bit of bright areas. I'll tilt this up. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, well, turned out nicely. I'm pleased with it. I think I'll try and highlight the high areas, being the hatches, the covers, all high areas. I'll try and airbrush some lighter paint on it. So take the olive drab and mix with a bit of white or a bit of yellow, whichever suits best. On the bottom side, you can also see a bit of the patchy, cloudy look. And yeah, well, I can honestly say this was the result I had in mind. Yeah, well, pleased with it, very pleased with it. Next were the wheels, which I always find a bit of a hassle to get the right tone on. I usually do them by hand with a small paintbrush, and this time I decided, I did it before. I used the same method before on a 1:72 scale armored vehicle, which is cutting some masks for it. This being a 15mm diameter hole, and this being a 14 diameter hole for the front and back. I hope the camera picks up what I want to show. There's a better angle perhaps, a bit closer to the light. Come on, focus. No. Well, anyway, you have to believe me, they have the same appearance. They look a bit weathered, and that's what I had in mind. I'll try again on a black background. Perhaps the camera will focus then. Does it? Yes, there we go. That's better. So as you can see, a bit of a used look, not completely covered, the black showing a bit through. And yeah, also pleased with that result. So, up next a bit of weathering, but that will go on to another video. I hope you like this one. For now, it's me signing off and saying goodbye. If I don't post before the new year, then I wish everybody a very happy and a very healthy and good new year, and have a ball in 2014. Enjoy. For now, bye bye.